Hello, everybody. This is Yevgen from OVOX, a team of professionals who believe in making better marketing and business decisions based on data. And I'm not alone here today. Please welcome Helen, our customer success leader here. I'm going to go over theory today, and she'll dive deeper into the execution, into the details. She'll show you how it all works together.
Hey, I'm Helen, and I'm responsible for making our clients happy and successful. I'm thrilled to be here today with you and guide you through the process of setting up our terrific CMO dashboard.
Just one more time, I want to welcome you guys on today's training, and I hope you're doing well today. To make sure you guys can see me and see my screen here, please type into the chat whether you can see me, whether you can hear me. That would be awesome. And before we begin, let me know what you guys are doing. Please tell me whether you are a marketer, whether you are a C-level, whether you work with the data or with traffic in your company. Just type this into the chat. Just type data if you work with data, or marketing if you're a digital marketer, or traffic if you take care of advertising in your company every day. And this is going to be really cool. Also, please block everything that is going to be distracting you for the next 40 or 50 minutes or so, and I promise you we are going to make it worth of your time. So today we're going to learn, we're going to get the knowledge and the tools to keep campaign performance under control, so you improve decision making at every stage of the paid acquisition process, so you improve your return on investment, and I promise you we'll make it worth of your time. We're going to be running fast and covering really a lot of cool stuff today. Thank you for attending this live training, because today we're going to talk about how to keep campaign performance under control with a customizable marketing reports in minutes and accurate acquisition campaign tracking. So there are really three core problems that most marketers face when it comes to data analytics. One, there is no clear analytics roadmap. They have no idea kind of what they should be doing in terms of measuring and optimization of advertising, website performance, or user behavior. Two, is there chaotic reports? If you're a marketer, a C-level, maybe you got some reports, and maybe you even have some tools that you use to build and check those reports. But you have no idea what it means or what you are supposed to do with it, with the data shown in the reports. Or you don't trust the data in those reports. And most likely those reports are done in the different tools. You use the CRM for the sales reports, advertising platforms for basically advertising performance, Google Analytics for website tracking, for user behavior tracking, SEMrush or Ahrefs for SEO, and all this kind of stuff. And all of these reports show different figures, or you don't even know how to build the reports. Okay? And the third thing is the random marketing efforts, which is where a lot of people actually start, which is that you're just trying different stuff, but it's not really data driven. It's not really because you are that your audience or your users are asking you to do something. It's because you're just guessing. Should we change the headline? Should we change the offer? Or should we change the entire sales funnel? Should we run a webinar? Or should we change the ad creatives? I don't know. Let's try something. And that's what we call the random acts of marketing. And you're not using the power of data that you already have to optimize the marketing performance. And last webinar, we were talking about fixing the roadmap issues. And we were doing this with having the right analytics plan. The replay is available at our website. Just go to ovox.com/events. The webinar is called Mastering Marketing KPIs, where we've just covered this last time. Now, we're sure that you already have a plan, that you know what to measure, that you know what the questions you're supposed to be asking, and how to act on the answers to those questions. Assuming you've got a good plan, you can still have chaotic reports, right? Reports that generate information that actually give you some sort of answers, but aren't quite sure about what that information is and how to act on this. Either you have not enough metrics, or you're not sure that the information is correct and you can trust it. And that's where the analytics setup actually comes in. We want to be able to solve this today. Chaotic reports problem. We're fixing with building the reports, okay? We build the reports right and fully automated. So in case you've never heard of me or our company before, Here is a quick introduction of who we are. We help companies from e-commerce, retail, fintech, SaaS, healthcare, and actually many other industries to close the loop between marketing and revenue. In Ovox, we believe that every decision maker has to deal with data freely. Neither software nor analysis should be a bottleneck for marketing strategy and execution. And over the last 5 years, we have provided over 2,000 companies from 50 plus countries across 23 different industries with all-in-one marketing analytics platform to make fully informed data-driven marketing decisions. Our track record of success is the reason why international brands like SEMrush, PandaDoc, or Raiffeisenbank International came to us for help with their data analytics. Now, who is this training for? So this training is basically for anyone who's running an e-commerce team or a marketing team, or who is a web analyst helping marketers to get the most out of their data. Even people like C-level executives, startup founders, digital marketing and finance leaders, or data professionals who are trying to understand how each element of the digital analytics works together, and who want to understand how to optimize the advertising, but also get the single report to understand how the overall business is performing. Not only one specific campaign or one specific platform, but how it all works together. With this being said, let's dive right in. Now, there are 5 big frustrations when it comes to reports. And first is not having a data source of truth. Digital marketers and traffic managers often struggle when attempting to calculate the ROAS or CPO by campaigns and ads. There is no single tool that serves as a source of truth for this data. For example, Google Analytics 4 provides reliable data about your website conversions, but it lacks the ability to display the costs at the detailed ad level for non-Google advertising campaigns. Therefore, you don't have a clear, big picture. So advertising platforms at the other side provide realistic costs that are not updated synchronously, and the conversions from those platforms don't add up. Therefore, marketers are confused with the numbers. They need to figure out accurate ROAS or CPO reporting for each campaign. Moreover, it's really a waste of time to collect numbers from different sources manually. Another frustration is lack of visibility into digital KPIs. To achieve the desired return on the ad spend or lowering the cost per lead or the cost per acquisition, marketers need a detailed campaign report with a breakdown by keywords and ads. However, even modern solutions like Google Analytics 4 provide low granularity reports. As a result, marketers have to operate at the campaign level only and are unable to use important data when filtering out the ineffective ads. Additionally, the acquisition analysis within the Google Analytics 4 interface provides trends for only up to 14 months. Number 3, it's almost impossible to understand the true acquisition sources of conversions. Cookie restrictions lead to losing connection between the website conversions and acquisition sources. Therefore, marketers see unrealistic share of direct non-source and medium in your performance reports and unfair KPIs for the other sources. As a result, marketers had to act blindly when allocating ad budget, missing growth opportunities and waste an ad budget. Number 4 is the lack of trust in the existing attribution models. Last click attribution is hopelessly outdated. But data-driven attribution by Google is a black box solution and, not surprisingly, appreciate Google Ads over the other channels. Nothing else is available in Google Analytics 4 anymore. Actually, every ad service, including Facebook ads, overestimate the number of conversions attributed to themselves, to the campaigns within their platforms. As a result, the numbers in marketing reports don't add up, and marketers cannot trust the results of any of those reports. And number 5 is the privacy regulations and defined risks. Using typical on-site analytics tool might violate GDPR or the other privacy regulations in your country. You can be fined for up to 4% of your yearly revenue for data or privacy breaches or non-compliance, according to Article 83 of the GDPR. This problem actually leads to losing on-site user behavior data or wasting time and resources in replacing marketing analytics stack and learning curve, right? So there are these 5 big frustrations here. And now we're gonna flip this around. Those are the 5 things that your report build out is supposed to cover. So we're going to move forward to our goals. So we want to establish a single source of truth. No more scattered reports and conflicting numbers. All of your marketing data should be all aligned. Number two, you don't want to be limited in getting the advertising performance reports of any granularity. You should be able to measure the ROAS, CPO, CPL, whatever other metrics you want that matters for your campaigns at the campaign level, at the ad level, at the keyword level in your reports. Number three, you need to be aware of the true acquisition sources of conversions, not just having a lot of direct non-traffic and that's it. And number four, you need to apply more attribution models to your data so you understand the patterns and select the one, or maybe a couple, that is really suitable for your business model. Adjust the conversion window. Measure the impact of different funnel stages. Number five, the privacy regulations are at the forefront in 2023. You have to respect user privacy and ensure GDPR compliance. So we're going to go through this proven solution to overcome all of these challenges and reach all of the goals just mentioned. The way you solve this is with the right analytics solution, the right analytics framework that is proven, having the analytics roadmap in place. And today we're going to be talking about those 5 things, about creating the single source of truth of data, about the reports, about the full visibility into marketing performance, about discovering the true acquisition sources of conversions. And we'll talk a bit about the marketing attribution and about privacy. So first things first, how do you establish the single source of truth? But what is the single source of truth? You know that data exists in various systems across your organization. When these systems exist in silos, it poses a challenge of business looking to make data-driven decisions, as not all members of the organizations are operating off the same data. A single source of truth is the practice of aggregating the data from many systems within an organization to a single location. A single source of truth is not a system, tool, or strategy, but rather a state of being for a company's data, in that it can be all found via a single reference point. A simple example of this is search engines. Let's say a searcher enters a query about their favorite restaurant. Google aims to be the single source of truth for anything that may need to know about this restaurant, such as the working hours, the phone number, the location, the link to the menu, the rating, the popular times to visit, anything like this. And Google is bringing data from many sources, from Google Maps, from the restaurant's website, from the ratings, from the reviews, from basically any source of information to be the search's single source of truth for the data that we want to know about the restaurant. So you don't have scattered reports and conflicting numbers anymore. And all of your marketing data should be aligned. But what should you do to obtain a single source of truth? Well, all you have to do is to collect all of the data from various different sources of various systems to the storage, to the database, that will become a single source of truth location. I'm going to dive. I'm not going to be diving really deeper into this. I just want to mention that we use Google BigQuery for storing the marketing and all of the other data, and it's the best choice for collecting the marketing data in specific, because all of the native integrations with the Google tools like Google Sheets, Google Analytics, all this stuff. So if you do this, Google BigQuery will become a hub for all of the data across your organization, making it visible and accessible via a single reference point. So just a quick example. You can collect the advertising data from Facebook ads, Google ads, Twitter ads, Bing ads, LinkedIn ads, any other ads, and actualize when the ad platforms change the data backwards. That happens. So they become always accessible in the same format, in the unified format that you need at any time you want to get those data. Our second goal was to achieve the full visibility into marketing performance. But what is the visibility into performance? Performance visibility is the ability to see how well your organization is performing in relation to its goals. It includes both the ability to see how well the organization is doing overall and the ability to see how individual parts of the organizations are performing. Performance visibility is important because it allows organization to identify the areas that requires improvements and making some changes. Without performance visibility, organizations would have no way of knowing whether they are meeting the goals or not. But how to measure the performance visibility? You do this with a performance marketing dashboard. A performance marketing dashboard is a visual tracking tool that highlights performance metrics, KPIs, insights, and trends for the whole marketing team, channel, or specific marketing campaign. Those are the management tools for marketing leaders and business communication solutions to enable cross-team collaboration by sharing relevant insights and reports across your organization, empowering others to make informed decisions and drive business growth together. So just a quick example here. Helen will show you how to build those dashboards, but basically I just wanted to show you the dashboard right here. It's the great way to visualize what I was talking about here. This is an example of a high-level summary, high-level KPIs for the marketing leaders. Here you can see the paid advertising performance dashboard, all of the platforms, all of the advertising platforms together. Or an example of a detailed Google Ads performance dashboard with the funnel, charts, reports, tables, all this kind of stuff, heat maps, all of the main metrics you might need to optimize your Google Ads performance. And Helen would show you how to get the same dashboard later in minutes. And basically all of these dashboards in the same place. All of your performance marketing dashboards just under one link, one place for all of your marketing reporting. Now let's move on to the topic number 3, which is all about discovering the true acquisition sources of conversion. Understanding the source of your traffic means a lot to data analysis. When you know where your visitors are coming from, you have all kind of insights. How would you do that? What's the problem around that? Why do you need this? But you'll probably notice that Google Analytics marks a chunk of your traffic as direct non, and this can be a bit confusing. What exactly does direct non mean? Direct non may appear in your GA traffic reports under source of medium. Analytics doesn't have any referral information for these users. Why is traffic marked as direct non? The user typed your URL into the browser. This is a very common, especially if you have an easy and short homepage URL. The visitors came directly to your site, so there's no referral source. And that's okay, you cannot do anything about this. Or if somebody just bookmarked your URL. The reason number 2 is that your users might be getting redirected because of the URL shortener. If you use a certain URL shorteners, they'll redirect to their own server first, which interrupts the referral link. So analytics can't track it. The reason number 3 is that your UTM might be too long. Reason number 4, if your user has an ad blocker and it might destroy cookies, hiding the referral information from analytics. And the most important reason is the limited cookie lifespan, which leads to a situation where each subsequent session by a particular visitor is defined as a new session, and the connection with the very first session is lost. However, that first session contains the true source the user came from. The reason to this is that the client ID identifier is stored on the user's device when the user visits your website. This is considered as a first-party cookie, but since it's written in the JavaScript, it's a subject to ITP restrictions. So it doesn't leave no more than 7 days. This means that if a user visits your website today from a Facebook ad and places an order 8 days later, your analytics tool would not be able to track it as a returning user. You're going to have it as a new user, and the order will not be attributed to that Facebook ad he's seen 8 days ago. The marketers become blind to this part of the traffic and not understanding the real sources of conversions, of orders that the people take. And this may disable, and that's why they may disable the specific Facebook advertising that seemed inefficient, but it was not like this. This could lead to really a drop in the orders and the business profits. So the increase in the proportion of new users in your analytics may lead to a loss of an income. Okay, but you would ask me, what's next? How to overcome the direct non-traffic problem? The solution is called the cookieless tracking. We set up the first-party data collection to solve the ITP restrictions. To do this, We create a separate subdomain on your website on which the data collection takes place. With each event, Ovox BI creates a cookie odd and renews it with each interaction with a user for 364 days. This cookie will have its own user ID, which is similar to the client ID in Google Analytics. Based on it, you'll be able to build analytics reports without a large share of fake new users. Sorry. Based on it, you'll be able to build analytics reports without a large share of fake new users and build a user path for a longer period. So you can correctly evaluate the effectiveness of advertising campaigns and track the entire user journey. So to summarize this, Ovox BI streaming monitors any user activity on your website, extends the cookie lifespan, and is not harmed as much by the ad blockers, allowing you to see the whole conversion path. Our goal number 4 was to get the attribution models or model built by your rules. You need to get a few different attribution models so you can apply them to your business model and analyze. Sorry, so you can apply them to your business model and analyze which one actually is the most relevant to your needs. So you can analyze your advertising campaigns from different angles and consider the mutual impact of channels or the specific campaigns on the conversions. Which campaign or platform brings you more visits? Which campaigns help you to generate more sales? That's what the attribution model is all about. And last but not least, you need to respect the user's privacy and the data privacy. We've spoken about the privacy already in this section about analytics, but I just want to remind you that it's very important. The fines, just over $1 million for Swedish Tele2. That's really notable. They had just the first such case, such fines following or after strategic privacy complaints targeting Google Analytics 4 and Facebook Connect as well. Now, what if I say that you can get all of those essential marketing reports just like I showed before in about 15 to 20 minutes from now, addressing all of the privacy concerns we've discussed and all of the goals we've just covered? Would that be something that is really important and valuable for you? And let me stop talking and I'll let Helen show you the magic right now.
Yes, thank you, Yevgen. It was really, really great. And those numbers and those insights can really take your breath away. But now let me switch from the nice theory into super awesome practice. Before we begin, there are 3 prerequisites that should be in place on your end. A GCP project with active billing, relevant roles in Google BigQuery, and Google Analytics for Events tracking set up on your website. At Ovox, we prioritize data privacy, which is why we never store your data. Instead, we require you to have your own GCP project, ensuring you have full ownership and manage access to your data. Additionally, you'll need to have either BigQuery admin or BigQuery data owner role or higher. So now let's dive in. To get started, go to bi.ovox.com, log in using a Google account, and here you can, in your new project, which consists of 3 major blocks: pipeline, streaming, and transformations. Pipeline allows you to seamlessly connect your advertising data from popular platforms like Facebook ads, Bing ads, Criteo to Google BigQuery. Streaming collects raw user behavior data from your website, while transformation brings it all together, making your data ready for analytics and gaining valuable business insights. First, we'll create pipeline, starting with Facebook ads. Click New, find the Facebook bike logo or using the search. Click in Facebook to Google BigQuery. Now just grant the access to your account. Select the GCP project where your data will be stored. And the data set. We recommend to use the default naming. It will help you at a later stage to move faster. So the default name works well. Let's just use it. However, you are free to change the name if you need. By default, the data set is stored in the US location. So if you need to select another location, you'll need to create a data set in your desired location via Google BI interface and just choose the suitable data set on this step. Okay, so what is really important about the location? That all your data connected with AWACS BI should be in the same location. This is quite important because Google BigQuery does not allow you to query data from different locations. So it's better to think about this in advance and stick to it. Now let's pick the start date. The earliest available is the beginning of the previous month. And the source medium by default for that cases when the actual UTM text cannot be parsed. Create pipeline. Done. The pipeline will upload your data into partition table in the selected Google BigQuery dataset. The data will be uploaded daily for the previous day and updated retrospectively up to 21 days. You can connect as many ad accounts from all your ad platforms as you need. The process is absolutely the same, so I will skip it and leave only one pipeline. Next, let's move to our streaming. Click New, Streaming. Choose the G4 events-based streaming and click Create and Setup. Configure the streaming settings, including the time zone, and select the destination dataset in GCP for data collection. For consistency and accuracy, we recommend to use the same time zone as you are using in your Google Analytics 4 account. Choose the destination dataset, click Grant the Access, and pick your GCP project. Again, you can create your own dataset, but we recommend to use the default name. Pay attention to use the same location as for the pipelines data. Now, let's save and activate our pipeline, our streaming. The status is changed to the activation in progress. In several minutes, it will be switched to active, which means that your AWACS BI project is ready to accept events from your website. In the data sending options blocks or section, you'll find 3 options to send the data to the AWACS BI access point, along with the instructions for each option. Google Tag Manager is the easiest and the most common option. And if you are already collecting the data from your website, if you are already collecting your data from website into GA4, the only thing you need to do is duplicate your tags and use AWACS BI access point. The access point is also here. You can find it. Also, you can send your data directly from your server using the measurement protocol instructions and dedicated access point at AWACS BI end. Once the data collection starts, you'll see the first data in the AVAX BI GA4 streaming dataset and events intraday table. Also, you will see empty tables starting from tomorrow. So if you want to get your CMO dashboard today, you'll have to have a pause and set up at least some basic events via GTM or using other options. I will not cover this part right now, as different companies have their own custom setup. But if you face any difficulties with streaming tracking setup or have any questions about streaming setup, use the chat and we will answer them. Also, you can reach out to our support team right here from your AVAX BI project. Now let's copy the name of our Google BigQuery project. We will need it at a later stage. If you have any questions about the pipelines or streaming, please send them to chat. I will be able to answer them right now or later, maybe at the end.
All right, we have also the question from Andre that he's asking why values by different distribution models are different, and the easy thing is that's how the attribution models are built. They are built on different rules. They are created for tracking the different events in the different from the different angles. But to learn more about this, we have one of the webinars. You can just go to avax.com/events, and there is a webinar specifically about the marketing attribution that you can watch. And we've already covered all that in here. We have another question from Rus here. How long it takes to get events from our website into my Google BigQuery? Helen, that sounds like a question for you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Evgen. Actually, the events are collected into Google BigQuery almost real time. So you can check easily by sending one event via measurement protocol. You will see one event line in your tables. So they are pretty much real time, but they are like gathering through the all the day. And talking about the attribution models, that's really great question. And if we'll have some spare time at the end, maybe we will show this specific page, which you've shown earlier, with this comparison of different attribution models and talk about it in details.
Yeah, let's do that at the end of the training. But now let's move on to the next stage. What's next? Just show us the magic.
Next. Sure. Now I'm going to blend this raw data into something tangible. Every advertising platform has its own data structure, and you'd probably have several pipelines already set up. So we'll begin with blending all the cost data into unified format using blended ad spend transformation template. Let's take a look inside the transformation setup. At the very beginning, you can create your own transformation from scratch or choose any transformation template from the gallery. Inside each template, there is a short description and a link to the detailed instruction for a particular transformation. Also, you can see the list of prepared operations and its descriptions. Blended ad spend transformation template is available for AVAX BI fully managed pipelines from various ad services, Google Ads data from AVAX BI by request pipeline, or Google Data Transfer, as well as a custom cost data via Google Sheets sent to Google BigQuery. So if you have your own costs, for example, for some partners or affiliates, you can also upload them. Now click Create and Setup and go to the next level. In the transformation, you'll find the list of variables and operations. For simplicity, we'll turn off operation for all the operations except those that we need. So we need data cleansing, Facebook, we will use Google Data Transfer, and these operation as well. You can also delete them or just move them up and down by drag and drop, like something like this. Next, fill in the variables specific to your project. The transformation highlights the variables used, making it easy to find and manage them. If you use default naming during the pipeline setup, the only variable to change is the project ID. Remember, we copied it. Make sure you have no spaces before the name. Once the transformation is saved, AWACS BI will ask you to share access to the datasets and tables it uses. I will check if we have any other variables with project ID. No, only one. Okay. Let's share it again with your Google account. The access is granted. Now, run the transformation and monitor the process and results in the Run History tab. We have done the first transform operation, done the second one. You can see that it's just a matter of seconds. And the last one, everything is done. The status is done and the total time is 19 seconds. Not bad. You can also find the detailed log description here if you want, with all the queries used. Now I want to, this transformation is ready to use, but let's add one more thing. We have the time trigger, and we can add it and set up for every day updating, let's say 6 a.m. Save. Now our transformation will be running daily, this time during 19 seconds, but still. Okay, so to create our CMO dashboard and to have business-ready data in the project, we are blending the cost data from different sources into a unified structure. And we need to gather your website events into sessions. So the next step is to create sessions from the events using the sessionization template, transformation template. This is the biggest and the most complicated transformation. So I'll go through it in more detail, giving you more context and the logic behind every action. You might find the detailed instruction in our help center as well, so feel free to check it. Or just type your questions here via email or leave chat inside AWACS BI. So let's talk a bit more about the variables. We have start and end variables. They are responsible for the period for which transformation should be performed. For example, we have a value in SQL code that takes, in this case, 3 days less than the current date. And it turns into a string that is understandable for Google BigQuery. In other words, this is the beginning of the period during which the transformation needs to be performed. We recommend using a data refresh interval of 2 or 1 days, let's say 1 day, just to save your resources. But you can use any interval you prefer. For example, if you are using the measurement protocol to send conversion data, and there is a delay between the fact of transaction and the session. For example, you need some time to process the payment or get some confirmation of the transaction. You may use the Qt parameter and send the event in the past. In this case, you might need to calculate sessions for the last several days. For example, 4 days or 30 days, whatever. AVAX BI does not have any limits or restrictions for this time period. Additionally, instead of SQL code, you can specify a specific date in the date format. You can read more in our help center, but for example, if you need to recalculate sessions for the whole month, you can write here the start date as it is in the calendar.
All right,
Okay, these
Helen, we have a question here,
sure,
and
sure.
it's about that. That's just something I plan to ask you. But yeah, the question is: do I need to edit something in the SQL code to get the results?
Nice question. Thanks for asking this. Sorry, but no. No, nothing to add here. The template is working out of the box, and the only thing you need to change are these variables. That's why they are variables, because they may vary from project to project. We did really great job. Our team did really great job to make these default predefined settings suitable for the most cases, but the tool is really, really flexible, so you can change it if you need. That's why I'm trying to explain the logic behind each variable, so you use it and know what you are doing. But if nothing changed, just the project name ID, project ID value in GCP, that's the only variable you actually need to change. Nothing to change in the SQL code. Everything will be updated automatically. I can even show you how it looks like. For example, if we click the preview, you can see no variables here. They are all replaced with the real values. So this is a great tool for those who do not want to write 238 lines of code and just want to use ready to use tool to make sessions. I hope I answered.
Great. Let's try to enter the project ID and then run the transformation, right?
No. I'd like to explain other variables, please. I'll be quick. So these variables stand for the Google Analytics for events that we previously remember. We've created this G4 streaming data set, and I said that you will have the events intraday tables there. The session timeout is the duration between two events from the same user, after which the session is interrupted. You know that by default it's 30 minutes, and here it is in the minutes actually, but you can specify any time depending on your business logic. No limitations. Again, we will transform the data in the structure and logic that is suitable for your business. 19 is the waiting time for the campaigns in days. So this means that the campaign timeout is 90 days. When preparing the last non-direct click attribution value, the specified number of days will be considered to determine the user's last indirect source. So we will look back 90 days. Again, you are free to change it if you want. The time zone in which sessions are going to be collected, we need to specify these for the sessions interruptions at midnight, and the correct determination of the time when the session was performed. That's the main variables. I think I will change the project IDs here, and we will go further. So yeah, I saved the transaction. The access are already granted, and click run. Let's take a look. I hope I didn't miss anything. When running for the first time, you see that there is a step 3, which is initial. So after the first run, we will need to turn off or ignore for running this step 3 and turn on the step 3, which is not actually initial. I will show you how to do it. It's very easy. And again, if you set up this transformation right after creating the streaming and you haven't sent any event yet, your transformation, you will not be able to run this transformation because no events table is created yet. It will be created automatically tomorrow, so you can calculate it tomorrow, but actually it will be empty. Perfect, it is done. I will show you how to make this initial. We ignore for running initial and enable for running step 3. And let's add another time trigger every day, let's say 7 a.m. Save. Good. We are almost done. There are 3 really small transformation left. First is the cost attribution, which attributes cost to sessions. Just fill in the project ID as we did before. Let's save the transformation. Yeah, let's run it and check if everything is fine. Here is only one, I'd say, obligatory operation. The 2 operations are additional, and you can read about them in our help center. What I will do right now, I will create the trigger, but not time trigger, dependency trigger this time. I want my cost attribution to run right after I have blended and spent transformation and sessionization successfully completed. Here we are. It will be run automatically tomorrow, right after these 2 transformations. Next transformation is standard attribution. It enables you to calculate any or all, actually, attribution models. We have 5 standard attribution models right now using your online data. This transformation is not mandatory for building the CMO dashboard, but if you activate it, you'll get the data for the separate page with revenue attribution comparison, which you were asking previously. So it has several specific variables, for example, the conversion window and the event, the conversion event. So the conversion event, let's say it will be purchase, and the conversion window, let's say it will be 30. Okay. I will also activate these 2 operations if we want to add the whole, to see this additional page in our report. Okay, so again, product ID here and product ID here, and that's it. You see, nothing else. we need to grant access because we have the new data set in use, and this is AWACS BI report. Granting the access and run. It has several, as I said, several attributions, and you are free to turn off or ignore for running those which do not want to see. For example, you can use only first click and last non-direct, for example. That's absolutely fine. So no need to calculate all of them if you don't want to use them, but it's possible if you want. That's fine. Um, what is important here as well is the data set. This data set was not created yet by any previous step. Remember, with the pipelines or streaming, we've created it like specifically. So before running this transformation, you should create dataset AWACS BI reports in the BigQuery interface. Or you can use streaming dataset, but it will make some mess in your data, and in the variables you should um, specify this streaming dataset. So I'd recommend to spend 20 more seconds and create it just on this step. In my case, it was pre-created. So good, we are done. Let's also add the dependency trigger right after the cost attribution. Nice. Now, let's check what we have so far. Pipelines from ad platforms, in our case, just Facebook, and data transfer I have from Google Ads. These costs are blended into a unified structure, and you can even upload Facebook ads cost into GE4 via our SFTP managed by AWACS pipeline. We have streaming from our website. Remember that first tables will be formed the next day or right after you send at least one event to AWACS BI endpoint. Events are collected into sessions according to transparent and manageable rules. Costs are attributed to sessions, and revenue is attributed by different attribution models. The final step, creating the CMO dashboard data mart. Create and set up. Insert the project ID, a variable, and let's run this final transformation. I want to highlight that this solution covers online transaction data only. If you are not sending transactions and want to connect your CRM data with conversions, please contact us via email or just send a message in the chat, and my team will gladly help you to customize the transformation so you can attribute your CRM data about transactions. I want to add an automatic update for this transformation as well. So dependency trigger, let's say after the attribution models. So my CMO dashboard will be fresh every day. If you have any questions, actually we've done with the AWACS BI part. Now I will show you how to add this data into Looker Studio. So if you have any questions about transformations, let's do it right now. I know that we are short in time, but Yevgen, do we have any questions?
Not really. Let's move on. Let's connect it to the Looker Studio dashboard and see how it goes.
Sure. Okay. Here in the transformation details, we have the link to the CMO dashboard. I will share it. I think you should see it. Now, just make a copy of this dashboard and Click Create Data Source. Click BigQuery. Again, our project, AVAX BI reports dataset, and CMO dashboard table. I will pick this one because we have some data there. The number of predefined, prepared dimensions and metrics is there. You just need to click Add to Report. The same here for this data source stands for the attribution models. Remember, that's separate page. So we need to connect the attribution check table to see this page in your CMO dashboard. Again, several metrics and dimensions that are predefined. Click Copy Report. I will share the copied dashboard. And that's it. Here is your report with a small sample of data, but still.
Yeah, you just started to collect it yesterday, right?
Yeah, it is prepared for several days just to have something to show you here. But
We,
basically, what is really great is that you can set up this dashboard and add your data at a later stage. You can add more events to track. You can add more advertising platforms or accounts, and you will just add them into the transformation, and the dashboard will be updated automatically with this newly created or newly added data.
and it's gonna be updated every day, right? So you just make one setup one time, and you have the dashboard that you can use every day for the next weeks, months, or years, right?
Absolutely. That's it.
Uh, that's awesome. We have a question in the chat. What happens if I set up a dependency triggers on two operations? One, systemization depends on blended ad spend, and two, blended ad spend depends on systemization. Would that be a never-ending cycle?
Oh my gosh. I do not know how to answer this. um, the trigger works only once a day. So I think in this case, no transformation will be updated because we will have no trigger for the first transformation. So it will not be like the cycle, but no updating as well. By the way, maybe later or in our help center, you may see the flow. And once you connect these triggers, you will see which transformation are connected to which dependency transformations. So just to be sure that you do not connect them like this.
So basically, if you do this, you will anyhow understand that something is broken, it's just not going to work, and that's it.
Yeah, or just send us an email and we'll help you to find it.
All right. Thanks a lot, Helen.
Thank you.
Let me show my screen back.
Sure.
All right, so here is the dashboard. I just wanted to show a couple of things here. So we have a sample data here. That's a dashboard for Google Ads. It has some numbers, some charts, some buttons. It's really easy to track and to optimize the ads. It's created by marketers for marketers, and that's just the design. That's cool. Anybody can do this. Okay. The main value of this process is just what Helen showed you right now, because typically to build a dashboard like this, you need to have one, two, maybe even more data analysts that are taking care of your data every day. Like they are developing the system, they are running those transformations. Sometimes they're checking the order of those transformations. For example, the schedule queries by Google doesn't support dependency triggers like we've just discussed. So basically the power of this is that you can use the power of SQL code without writing a single line of code. So you just put some variables like the project ID, which could be done by anybody. Um, you don't need to have a data professional to have the professional dashboards, because our data professionals already done the job for you. They've already created the templates and the tool. So we have all of the things in place so we can collect the data on the dashboard and make the decisions based on those data. And now, after hearing all this, basically you have two options here. You basically have three options here. Sorry. So one, you can collect all of the data manually from your advertising platforms, get the Google Analytics set up, and build a report somehow. You might download the CSV file every day, store that in the Google spreadsheets, Excel, whatever you use, then somehow merge that data again every day, probably, maybe once a week. Build those reports in Google Sheets, and that's basically okay. I like the reports built in Google Sheets. And then you analyze and make some decisions based on those data. You're not sure about the quality of those data. You're not sure about the visibility into to overall performance, but that's at least something, okay? Um, you have the option number two, which is called which I call the siloed reporting. So you'll find a bunch of different tools, one for the pipelines, then maybe Google Analytics for tracking your online events. Then you're probably going to store all of those data in any kind of a database or the data warehouse, like Google BigQuery, like Snowflake, Redshift, Azure, whatever you use. Um, then again, you'll have the Google Analytics for anyway. You probably would have it even with using OWASP BI, okay? But that's okay. That's nothing to do with this. And then you will have to build those dashboards, either in Google Sheets or in Power BI or in the Looker Studio that we've discussed. But what metrics are you going to include? How would you build that dashboard? Like, you'll again have all of those questions. And there is an option number three, which is an AWACS BI 5-step marketing analytics framework. Marketing analytics is done within one tool. The data is stored in Google BigQuery. But yeah, then you get the report and that's it. You use one link every day to access all of your reports. And let me just summarize what we just discussed. First things first, you collect the data from advertising services into Google BigQuery. Okay? That's a single source for your data. The second thing is you set up the accurate acquisition campaign tracking with OWASP BI, cookieless real-time streaming, and you can see the whole conversion journey accurately. You collect those raw data into your Google BigQuery account, and then you use OWASP BI transformations to prepare all of those data together, to blend the advertising cost data right inside the BigQuery. We're not taking your data back. So we're fully privacy compliant on this. It's your data is stored in your desired location. Then we collect the raw events into sessions. We attribute that costs to sessions, and then finally we do that magic of preparing a table for reporting every day. So every morning you you open your laptop or a computer, whatever you use, maybe an iPad. You grab the link to the Looker Studio, you just click on it, and that's it. Your report with all of the necessary elements for all of the advertising platforms bundled together, like the social and performance reports, channel reports, high-level KPI for the marketing leader, and a bonus section with all of the details reports for the PPC manager that is managing the ads. Basically, that's it. And at the end of the day, you just make the decisions faster based on the data that you have with you. You'll spend like 20, maybe 30 minutes to set up all of the pipelines, streaming transformation, maybe even less, and you'll get all of your data visualized. You can do this right now even. So if you want to do it right now, just go to bi.awacs.com, start a 7-day free trial, and you're going to be on the way to getting these dashboards right now. If you don't want to do it, just go to the awacs.com/demo, and book a call with our data experts, and just do it today because they have the limited amount of time to set this up, and we'll show you everything how to do it. You'll get your reports ready tomorrow. So today you set it up, you set everything together, and when the data is going to be collected, you'll see them on the reports tomorrow. All right. So with this, you'll be able to really improve your marketing, to really optimize your campaign performance, and to really drive your ROI. Just one more time, go to AWACS just go to awacs.com/demo, book a call with a member of our team, and we'll help you set it all up. Because believe me, you'll need a trusted data analytics solution and a trusted data analytics partner, so you can really become data driven and make the decisions faster. All right? Our vision is to empower marketers and acquisition specialists to make better business decisions based on data. So once again, schedule a call with a member of our team. They will answer your questions. You'll get the expert support, so you can try AWACS BI, get the reports you need, and transform your data into actionable insights on the dashboard. All right? Now, once again, we have the Q&A time at the end of this webinar. If you have any questions to me or to Helen, so just type it into the chat. We're here to answer all of your questions, whether it's about optimizing the marketing performance, you can ask me a question, or whether it's about the technical setup, about the transformations, about the data analytics. That's what Helen would be happy to answer all of your questions here.
In any case, thank you. I think I really hope that it was helpful and that you feel more confident right now with going through all this setup. We have the really detailed guideline about the whole solution of how to create this CMO dashboard, pretty much the same as I showed, but with more details, with links and instructions. So you can find it on our support website, on our help center. Again, if you will have any questions during the setup, you know where to find us, the email or chat at the top of your AWACS BI project. And I don't see any questions. I think that we are a bit out of time for now. So, Yevgen,
Thanks
I
so
want to
much
thank you so much.
for joining me here today. Thank you all of you
Thanks for
guys
inviting.
for joining us and for watching us, because we see pretty huge engagement here actually. So was really a pleasure to meet all of you, to answer all the questions, and I hope we'll see you next time. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. It was a pleasure to be here today, and enjoy your day.